Have you ever wondered why some women without runway looks or a perfectly curated Instagram life still captivate men others deem out of reach? What secret are they tapping into that transforms casual interest into deep, unshakable devotion? It isn't about flawless skin or designer clothes. It's about speaking to his mind before touching his body. In this video, you'll discover the 3 subtle keys that unlock a man's genuine fascination, how to plant intriguing questions in his thoughts, leverage intentional pauses that spark irresistible curiosity, and master the art of almost leaving him yearning for more without saying a single cliched line. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share practical phrases you can use today to bypass superficial attraction and forge an emotional bond he can't ignore. Real-world examples that show you exactly when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to create moments he'll replay in his mind for hours. An exclusive mind touch exercise inspired by Carl Jung's teachings so you can project confident magnetic energy even in the simplest conversation. By the final minute, you'll understand why the male psyche responds more to mystery and meaning than mere physical appeal, and how you can become unforgettable not through looks, but through the powerful language of his heart and mind. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Let's begin by embracing a profound truth that so many of us resist because it directly challenges the stories we've been told since childhood. Contrary to popular belief, and trust me, I used to believe it too, the male body is not a man's primary gateway to intimacy. It's not his most vulnerable spot, nor the surest path to his heart. Instead, the real spark that ignites his deepest desire, the force that truly moves him, resides within the infinite landscape of his mind. Imagine that hidden inner world, a kaleidoscope of dreams, unspoken hopes, jagged fears, secret longings, and perplexing contradictions. This is where true magic unfolds. Once you learn to navigate his mental universe with empathy and genuine curiosity, you'll no longer feel the pressure to outshine others or strive for perfection. Instead, you'll tap into something far more potent, the ability to cultivate rich emotions, ignite his imagination, and awaken desire from the unseen. And believe me, this kind of connection etches itself into his memory in a way that mere physical attraction never can. There's a vast difference between someone who simply catches his eye and someone who becomes utterly unforgettable. Anyone can dazzle him for a moment with looks or charm, but only the woman who speaks directly to his emotions, who makes him feel understood, admired, and truly valued, will remain in his thoughts long after the moment has passed. Carl Jung famously reminded us that whatever we give to the world returns to us multiplied. When you offer unwavering presence, raw authenticity, and confident feminine energy, you don't just spark fleeting interest, you awaken genuine love. So, how do you begin this dance of the mind? By choosing patience over urgency, suggestion over exposition, and mystery over certainty. The male psyche, much like the female one, thrives on mystery. It craves that tantalizing space where questions outnumber answers, where a gentle glance or a carefully placed pause whispers volumes more than any flood of words ever could. Learn to harness the power of silence, those pregnant moments that leave him wondering, what did she mean by that? And watch him return again and again to unravel the enigma you present. Ultimately, a man doesn't fall in love with your actions alone. He falls in love with how you make him feel in the midst of them. You might be direct, playful, tender, or passionately bold, but if you never touch his mind, if you never spark the emotional response that lives deep within him, you risk blending into the background of his life. Yet when you dare to reach into his inner world, to stir the currents of his thoughts and emotions, you create a bond so profound that it transcends the physical and becomes a beautiful symphony of heart and mind. When you succeed in making him feel truly seen, acknowledged for who he is, admired for his strengths, gently challenged to rise higher, or deliciously intrigued by your insights, you become more than a fleeting glance in a crowded room. You become the thought that dances through his mind when he least expects it. That, my dear, is precisely why the mind is the authentic starting line. It's the sacred soil where real desire takes root, where genuine curiosity blossoms, and where those irresistible daydreams are spun daydreams that compel him to seek you out without you ever having to chase him. When you learn to connect with his inner world, his body inevitably follows, drawn by the magnetic pull of emotional intimacy. If you felt the quiet thrill of engaging him on that unseen level, you know there's a profound power there, an alchemy that transforms casual interest into riveting obsession. Most people never look beyond the surface. They keep rummaging for shallow tricks and empty compliments. But you're about to dive deeper into the hidden chambers of his heart and mind where the most potent connections are forged. It's vital to grasp this now. Surface-level gestures breed surface-level responses, polite nods, fleeting smiles, and predictable routines. But when you courageously venture into his emotional universe with empathy, wit, and unwavering presence, everything shifts. There's something men both struggle to articulate and cannot resist: a woman who touches their soul before their skin. While others pour endless effort into their outward appearance, you will spark his longing through the subtlest of moments. A carefully chosen word that stirs his imagination. A bold, intent-laden gaze that says more than any compliment. A deliberate silence that compels him to fill the void with thoughts of you. Those moments wrapped in intention and vulnerability carve their way into his memory, echoing long after you've gone. And that truly is the essence of an unforgettable attraction. It may sound almost unbelievable, but this power to captivate a man's heart without a single physical touch is within your grasp. There is something so profoundly magnetic about a woman who knows how to light up his imagination before ever brushing his skin. And I'm here to tell you, that woman can be you. All it takes is a decision to move away from rootless insecurity and instead express the fierce, confident energy that already resides inside you, just as Carl Jung taught us. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. When you begin to heal your patterns of thought and feeling, you'll notice the world around you responds in kind. Your friendships grow deeper, your conversations richer, and yes, your romantic connections become more vibrant and meaningful. Understanding that the mind is the true cradle of desire is only the first step. The real challenge and the real magic comes from learning to use that knowledge skillfully. Sadly, most people stumble here. They fall back on tired compliments. You look great today. You have such a nice smile, and wonder why nothing ever seems to stick. Truthfully, those empty words barely skim the surface of his psyche. What makes his pulse quicken, what truly sets his thoughts racing, is the artful spark of suggestion, the gentle buildup of emotional tension, the lingering echo of a phrase he can't shake. Imagine planting a single, carefully chosen sentence in his mind, one that resurfaces throughout his day, coloring his every thought of you. That, my dear, is how you become unforgettable, and it's easier than you might think once you know the 3 subtle yet deeply transformative tools. First, learn to speak in images rather than platitudes. I'm not referring to hollow cliches or empty flattery. I mean crafting statements that stir a whole story in his mind. For instance, instead of the predictable, "I'm really into," you try something like, "There's something about you that makes me imagine things I'm not supposed to think about." Feel the electricity in that shift. You've just handed him an invitation to complete the narrative on his terms, and men adore that. Second, embrace the power of strategic silence. In a world where everyone rushes to fill every moment with chatter, a well-placed pause can feel like a lightning strike. Picture yourself leaning in to whisper something daring, then falling quiet, holding his gaze without explanation or apology. In that pregnant moment of hush, his mind will surge with questions. Will she speak again? Is she thinking of something scandalous? Is she simply savoring this electric charge between you? That delicious uncertainty binds him to you long after the encounter ends. And third, master the seductive art of almost. Nothing fuels yearning like an experience that tantalizes without fully satisfying. Imagine tilting your body toward his, letting your lips hover near his ear, whispering something provocative, then gracefully pulling away before the expected kiss. You've just created a delicious almost moment that he'll replay in his imagination on an endless loop. That sensation of something tantalizingly incomplete drives him wild with curiosity and desire, compelling him to seek you out, to rewrite the ending. These 3 practices, evocative imagery, intentional silence, and the art of almost, are not manipulative tricks. They are expressions of your authentic confidence and emotional intelligence. When you wield them with sincerity and elegance, you don't just catch his eye, you captivate his entire being. Try them and watch how effortlessly you become the story he can't stop telling himself. What does this really mean? In my view, it's a beautiful reminder that not every story needs a tidy ending. Sometimes the most intoxicating power lies in what remains suspended in the air. Think about that electric moment when he leaned closer, eyes full of expectation, and you hovered on the brink of giving him that kiss he craved. Instead, you leaned in just enough to brush your lips against his promise, whispered a secret that only he could hear, then retreated with that enigmatic, heart-stirring smile. It never fully happened, but oh, how intensely it almost did. And that delicious almost lingers far longer than any act ever could. Why does this little play of anticipation work so brilliantly? Because he was primed for closure. He wanted the finale, but you gifted him an ellipsis. You left the narrative deliberately incomplete, sprawling out like an open invitation in his mind. I'm convinced this holds more weight than 1,000 fervent embraces, because now he isn't fixated on what he received, but on what he aches to receive. As he replays that fleeting encounter, he's not sustained by satisfaction, but ravenous for more. And that, to me, is the secret. True attraction isn't about handing over everything at once. It's about planting seeds of longing, nurturing them with whispered words, pregnant pauses, and the electric promise of almost. These are not gimmicks. They are emotional brushstrokes in an art form of feminine sovereignty. Few women dare to wield them deliberately, because it demands a deep well of presence, an unshakable confidence, and an effortless command of emotional currents. But if you're reading this, I know you're ready to step off the carousel of predictable romance and emerge as someone unforgettable. This isn't about sculpting the perfect body or stringing together the most poetic line. It's about burrowing into his imagination without permission, awakening emotions he didn't know existed. When you master this, you transcend competition. You inhabit a realm where your energy, your very essence, speaks more profoundly than any gesture. As Carl Jung beautifully observed, when we cultivate genuine self-love, we radiate a magnetic authenticity that nobody can resist. And the most exhilarating part, it's all already inside you. No force required, just a trusting reminder of your innate power. A woman who settles for mere visibility longs to be profoundly felt. A woman who needs no outside approval glows with authenticity, and that is the truest source of your irresistible allure. Connect with a man on that soulful plane, and you'll discover a transformation in every interaction. You don't need more tricks, more games, or more pantomimes. You simply need to align with your truest self. Because while a man's desires may flicker, for many his heart and his memory remain irrevocably tethered to the one woman who dared to touch his soul. This isn't about mastering the dark arts of emotional manipulation. It's nothing so cynical. It's about amplifying your radiant energy, learning to read between the lines, and nurturing a presence so irresistibly magnetic that it simply can't be overlooked. Carl Jung pointed out that when you truly love yourself, you elevate your vibrational frequency, and by doing so, you naturally draw in a higher caliber of love. I genuinely believe that this self-generated frequency shift transforms every interaction into something extraordinary. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, Please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Take a moment to feel that truth. Every exchange you have with him is more than mere conversation. It's an invitation to connect. Every glance, a fragile bridge between two souls. Every pregnant silence, an unspoken message waiting to be heard. When he's speaking, practice listening with your heart. What isn't he saying out loud? Which emotions does he stifle, perhaps out of pride or uncertainty? What quiet fears lie hidden beneath his facade of confidence? Make no mistake, men too yearn to be truly understood. They crave admiration not just for their accomplishments or titles, but for their very essence. They want to feel valued for who they are at their core, not merely for what they can provide. When you become fluent in perceiving their inner world, not to control it, but to embrace it, something astonishing happens. You gift them a profound sense of serenity, and nothing captures the heart of an emotionally mature man more than a woman who offers calm without extinguishing the flames of mystery. But let me share a deeper truth. Don't simply ignite his desire, stoke the flames of his respect. Respect is the bedrock of any enduring connection. A man who truly respects you will never toy with your feelings, never offer scraps of affection, never undermine your worth. Instead, he will strive to make you feel cherished, secure, and his top priority. To reach that level, you must begin by defining loud and clear who you are and how you deserve to be treated. It all begins with you, your energy, your self-imposed boundaries, your unwavering capacity to say yes when something aligns with your truth and no when it does not. From the vantage point of self-love, you see how every piece of this intricate puzzle interlocks. And here's another revelation: don't shy away from making a lasting impression. We often convince ourselves we need to be delicate, to fear diving too deep, lest we scare them away. But genuine magnetism thrives not in concealment, but in courageous self-revelation presented with grace and unshakable confidence. Remember, you're not here to beg for fleeting attention. You're here to craft an unforgettable experience. Why? Because you are the one who dared to touch his most hidden, most vulnerable, emotional spaces. So the next time you share a moment, whether in laughter, in conversation, or silence, ask yourself, am I seeking someone's approval, or am I boldly expressing my truth? Am I chasing a reaction, or am I gifting him a genuine emotional imprint? Am I operating from a place of fear, or am I standing firmly in my power? The clarity you find in those answers will determine whether you become a passing thought or an indelible presence in his heart. Always remember, what you attract in life is intimately woven with what you believe you deserve. Cherish yourself, and the universe will mirror that belief back to you in love. I truly believe that cultivating your self-esteem isn't some optional extra. It's the very cornerstone of your magnetic presence. As Carl Jung so beautifully reminded us, the most profound gift you can offer yourself is genuine self-love. From that sacred place, every aspect of your life begins to blossom. So, celebrate your victories, honor your emotions, Cherish your uniqueness, because the more you nurture yourself, the more you'll draw in someone who adores your inner radiance, not merely the image reflected at them. The moment you resolve to stop scavenging for validation outside and instead build your worth from within, something magical happens. Your entire energy field shifts. And here's the secret. I promise you don't have to broadcast this transformation to the world. You don't need grand proclamations or flashy announcements. It's simply felt. Men intuitively and almost unconsciously recognize that subtle frequency. They may not be able to pinpoint it in words, but they sense the difference. It's your new vibration, a calm confidence that both soothes and electrifies, unsettling anyone who only knew the old version of you. When you step into the role of a woman who listens with curiosity and observes with genuine attention, you begin to notice intimate details that once eluded you. You see how his gaze softens when a particular memory surfaces, how his posture relaxes as you broach heartfelt topics, how little revelations slip out when he feels truly safe in your presence. In those tender micro moments, you hold the power to plant authentic desire free of coercion, blossoming naturally from mutual understanding. This isn't about cunning manipulation. It's about soulful connection. True desire springs not from control or hollow mind games, but from that raw, unfiltered emotional bond. When a man senses he can drop his armor and reveal his unvarnished self, he experiences an electrifying liberation. His defenses melt away, and he truly sees you, feels you in all your glorious complexity. And let me tell you, that kind of connection is so rare, so intoxicating, that it etches itself into memory forever. What fuels his longing even more, a woman who is at home in her skin, not because she's flawless, but because she has nothing to hide. A woman who speaks her truth without apology, who draws clear boundaries without aggression, who knows when to press forward and when to pause with grace. That woman doesn't chase attraction, she radiates it effortlessly. Remember Jung's wisdom. What we think about ourselves becomes our reality. If you hold a vision of yourself as powerful, free desired, and wholly deserving of love, that is precisely what you will project into the world. And truly, there is no scent more alluring than the warm, vibrant fragrance of healthy self-esteem. And that's a wrap on today's journey into the art of magnetic presence and genuine connection. Now it's your turn. What insights have resonated most with you? Which of these practices will you bring into your daily life to nurture your self-love, elevate your energy, and forge deeper emotional bonds? Share one thing you've learned so far and how you plan to put it into action in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time, and remember to attract the love you deserve. Start by loving yourself first.